Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome back to the channel. What's up?
We're going camping.
Hey, that's my bread.
So hard. You can throw that away. What else do we want to bring on our trip?
So Bobby and I have decided to go on a little camping trip. We haven't been camping in a long time.
I know.
You got everything packed? You want to come camping, bro?
He said no.
Babe, let's bring him camping.
He's not coming.
All right, what do we need from the store? I need beer.
Beer, water, and like protein bars or something.
Okay.
Can you hold both, please? Hopefully our ice doesn't all melt.
What are we doing out there?
I was just checking out the scenery.
Why are you laughing at the campground?
Well, I'm just laughing because I kind of expected it to be on the lake.
Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome back to the channel. Today we got a few parts in for some cars, so let's jump in the shop. First thing I want to get fixed up today is the STI. So a few days ago, Bobby and I were trying to get this clutch to work. We were having a problem bleeding it after swapping out the slave cylinder, so I did pick up a new master cylinder. Before we swap out that master cylinder, I want to try a few different bleeding techniques to get the system up and working properly. I keep reading different techniques. The one I'm going to try first is just opening the bleeder, pushing the clutch pedal to the floor, coming back out, closing the bleeder, try repeating that process instead of how Bobby and I were doing it, which is the same way we bleed the brakes. Pump the clutch a little bit, put the pedal to the floor, open the bleeder, let some fluid and air out. If there is any air in the system, close the bleeder, repeat. So trying to bleed the system with that method completely lost all pressure in the clutch system. So what I'm gonna try next is unbolting the slave cylinder from the transmission and getting the bleeder valve on that slave cylinder to the highest point of the hydraulic system. So even higher than the master cylinder, and hopefully that will allow all the air to escape from the system. If that doesn't work, I'm just gonna go ahead and swap out the master cylinder. All right, so I confirmed that the slave cylinder is working fine. I went ahead and pulled off the line going to the master cylinder, and I cannot even get fluid to come out of the master cylinder when I pump the clutch. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap out that master cylinder, or maybe just pull this one off, try to figure out what is going on with it. But either way, there should definitely be fluid coming out right here with this line off. All right, so after swapping parts around and bleeding, I finally figured out what the issue was, and we got the clutch to work like it should. So this here is the new master cylinder. Basically, all the issue was this rod right here was extended way too long. There was constant tension the whole time on this push rod. Kind of hard to explain, but basically the rod on the master cylinder was adjusted improperly. No matter what we did, the system was constantly closed. So as soon as I shortened that up, that rod was able to fully extend, and we were able to get the clutch bled just fine. And now, as you can see, we're driving the car, and it should be good to go. I'm gonna go bang through some gears real quick, make sure we don't slowly lose pressure like it was before, and we can move on to fixing up the Evo 8. So the only issue we're having with the Evo 8 right now is the alternator. So we picked up an alternator rebuild kit to try and fix the one that's on the car. We already replaced this alternator once when we first got the car like 2.5, 3 years ago. So I don't want to replace it again. I figured I'm going to test out a $40 kit, rebuild kit, and see if that is going to fix our issue. If you've ever done an alternator on an 8 or 9, you know they are a pain to get to. I think the last time I pulled this alternator out to replace it, I had to drop the subframe down a little bit to kind of clear. Well, I forget what it was hitting on, but I remember dropping the subframe out just a little bit to get the alternator out. So let's get to work. I'm going to obviously unplug the battery. There's 2 bolts for the alternator, a wiring plug-in, a nut for the power wire, and the alternator should come out. All right, so we got the alternator loose. Everything's unbolted. Now the hard part is actually getting it out of the car. I think we're gonna have to pull off this passenger side CV axle, maybe the downpipe, loosen up the subframe, and we should be able to pull it out right underneath the car. We got the alternator out of the car, so we had to drop the subframe down, more so on the passenger side versus the driver. She's only dropped down maybe an inch. We had to pull a downpipe. I had to pull the oil pressure relocation hose thing off of there, CV axle, and we were able to slide the alternator out of the bottom of the car. It's actually not all that bad after you've done it before. I definitely remember it being a lot worse the first time around. Let's go ahead and tear into this thing. open up our rebuild kit. I've never once rebuilt an alternator before. I don't know if this is gonna work. I figured for $40, it's worth a shot versus buying a new alternator. So we have some new bearings, and we have, I believe this would be called the voltage regulator. I've already had this alternator apart once to get this whole housing Cerakote black. That's another reason why I didn't want to replace it with a silver one, because it wouldn't match the rest of the stuff we got going on. Pull this pulley off, there's 4 bolts right here, and the casing will come apart. I'm looking for an alternator for a 2003 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution.
Okay. Boy, there's one in the whole Washington State at my warehouse. I wouldn't see it till 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Okay. Perfect. Let's go ahead and order that up. So long story short, I completely forgot how these alternators come apart, and I absolutely destroyed this thing. So I'm just going to order up a new one. I went online to order an OEM one, and they are all on back order. Obviously, I don't want to wait to get this car back on the road. So Napa has one. It's going to be here at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So we'll go pick that up and get that thing installed in the car tomorrow. I really only have one complaint with this fully built Evo, and I'm sure it's like this with every heavily modified car in the world, but whenever we come to a stoplight or stop sign, we have to turn our AC off. This car will not idle whatsoever with the AC on. Come up to a stop sign, turn our AC on, and she dies. I want to take my car to the gym today.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
After my knee surgery, which was like 8 months ago, I'm just now getting back into the gym with leg training. I want you to take me through a leg day. Okay?
Through my leg day?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Let's see if I can handle it with my brand new knee. My brand new modified aftermarket kneecap. I think I've trained legs maybe 3 or 4 times, and it didn't help. It didn't help that the gym was closed for coronavirus.
Where's your key on that for your car?
In my pocket.
Oh.
So yeah, let's see what Bobby got. What you got?
A lot. Oh my god!
I just almost fell down the stairs.
What are you doing?
My knee gave out.
Honey,
Yes?
did you almost really trip?
Yeah. She's a ripper. We just banged out 10 minutes on the stairs. What's the game plan?
Okay, we gotta stretch out, make sure our muscles are nice and loosey, and then we can get going to the squat.
You got me squatting today, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Damn.
How'd that feel?
She's performed well. All right, we are all finished up with that leg day. That was tough, but I'm really, really excited to get back into it, get back after it like I used to. Bobby and I used to kill the gym every day. Obviously with all this COVID stuff going on, it's been tough, but my leg strength is gonna come back fast. I already know it is. The first time I squatted after my knee surgery, I was hitting like one plate, so 135 pounds for about 5 reps. Today I hit 5 sets of 5, so 5 sets of 5 reps with 225 pounds. So it's gonna come back fast, and I'm really excited for that.
Ooh.
Yeah, let me turn on my AC.
No, let's not do the AC.